With the campaign drawing to a close, the 90-minute match takes a look at the players who haven't lived up to the hype at their new clubs. Transfers are unpredictable. Despite all of the scouting, research and negotiating that goes into bringing in a quality player to a top team, no one can truly know how it will pan out until a ball is kicked. Sometimes, though, the very worst can happen. Whether it be through poor performances, managerial fallouts, or personal issues, some big-time moves simply don't work. And this season, there have been plenty of duds. Whether it be the free-spending ways of Paris Saint-Germain, tight budgets of Barcelona, or the usually-shrewd schemes of Borussia Dortmund, clubs around the continent have got it wrong. Therefore, the 90-minute match reviews the 10 worst deals made in European football in the past year. 10. Naby Keïta, Werder Bremen, free. Keïta was the one big transfer miss of Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool tenure, and the midfielder saw his career further plummet after joining Werder Bremen on a free transfer. He picked up numerous injuries before, in April, he was suspended by the club for an incident in which he refused to board the team bus after being told he wouldn't start against Bayer Leverkusen. 9. Vitor Roque, Barcelona, £25.6 million. Did Xavi actually want to sign Vitor Roque? That's not clear, but he certainly hasn't been keen to use the young Brazilian since his arrival in January. Barca blew a big chunk of their transfer budget on the teenage striker, who has spent most of his time in Catalonia riding the bench. His agent has threatened a move away from the club, and it wouldn't be a surprise to see him go, especially if the Blaugrana are offered a handsome fee. 8. João Félix, Barcelona, loan. Another false dawn for Félix. The Portuguese playmaker enjoyed a few successful weeks during high time at Barcelona, but his familiar struggles soon emerged. By the end of it all, he was left starved for minutes and unable to make an impact for a Barca team enduring a miserable title defense. Quite what Atletico Madrid do with him now is anyone's guess. 7. Jordan Henderson, Ajax, free. What a miserable 12 months it has been for Henderson. The former Liverpool captain flopped in Saudi Arabia for Al Ettifaq and didn't do much for his credentials in the Netherlands after joining Ajax in January. He wasn't awful for the Eredivisie side, but he wasn't the impact signing they needed, either. It has all amounted to him being left out of England's Euro 2024 squad, and he very well might have kicked his last ball for the Three Lions. 6. Oriol Romeu, Barcelona, £7 million. A 31-year-old German midfielder, who had been eased out of Southampton just 12 months prior, brought in to replace Sergio Busquets. It sounded wrong from day one, and so it has proved. Romeu was solid for a few games, but quickly fell out of the Barca 11. By the end of the season he was watching from the bench as centre-back Andreas Christensen took his minutes at the number 6. 5. Mason Mount, Manchester United, £60 million. Chelsea don't get much right in the transfer market, but the £60 million that they were able to bank for the sale of Mount looks like a pretty solid bit of business right now. Mount has struggled for both form and fitness since arriving at Old Trafford, and thus played only a bit part in a truly miserable season for the Red Devils. 4. Kalvin Phillips, West Ham, loan. Phillips opted to stay at Man City despite interest in him over the summer, but barely got a look in during the first half of his second season at the Etihad Stadium. When he did eventually depart on loan in January, things didn't get much better, either. He gifted Bournemouth a goal on his West Ham debut, and was sent off against Nottingham Forest on just his 4th league appearance for the club. In total, he made just 14 appearances for the Hammers, with only 3 of those coming from the start. He is still on the books at City, but seems set to leave this summer, especially after failing to make the cut for Gareth Southgate's Euro 2024 squad. 3. Moises Caicedo, Chelsea, £115 million. Chelsea smashed the British transfer record to lure Caicedo away from Brighton, seeing off competition from Liverpool, who refused to match their staggering £115 million bid. The Blues needed Caicedo to be a real game-changer right from the off, but he crumbled under the weight of expectation. To Caicedo's credit, he has finished the campaign strongly, and it's easy to forget he's still just 22 years old, while he also had to remain professional during a period when he feared for his family's safety amid a wave of violence in his homeland. But there is just no escaping that price tag, and as of right now, Caicedo must be considered a massive failure. 2. Randal Kolo Muani, Paris Saint-Germain, £77 million. The Parisians spent big to bring in Kolo Muani, presumably to keep Kylian Mbappé, his strike partner for France, happy. But a move made out of appeasement now looks like a true waste of money. Kolo Muani is way down the pecking order in Paris, and has just 9 goals to his name this season. 1. Sandro Tonali, Newcastle, £60 million. How could Newcastle not know that their club record signing had a severe gambling addiction, and that he would continue to bet on games even when serving an initial suspension? Tonali looked like a massive coup when he arrived from AC Milan. Now, he is a massive shambles, who will have to prove himself in August.